Hi, everybody. My name is Andy Bloom. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about how you can build a support network for academic success. When I think about success, I come to the conversation from the perspective of an athlete. I was a college athlete, was fortunate enough to win a couple of NCAA championships and to have the opportunity to represent the United States internationally. And so when I think about success, I have a tendency to think of it in the context of athletics. And I hope that some of the lessons that I learned in sports and in school can help you to be successful as a student. There's going to be a couple of times today that I ask you to close your eyes and think about something, maybe write down a couple of sentences with regards to a prompt. And when I do, go ahead and pause the video, and then when you're done, so that you don't feel rushed, go ahead and push play and move things along. For right now, go ahead and close your eyes. I want you to take a few minutes and think about a time when you were successful at something. Could be anything. Could have been a time when you had a good day in sports. Could have been a good day at school. Could have been a good day at work. Write a couple of sentences just to kind of jog your memory about it. And when you do, I want you to think about whether you were alone, whether there were other people around. And I really want you to think about how it felt to be successful. So go ahead and pause the video and push play when you're ready to start back up again. When we think about successes, success is hard. It takes a lot of work. Successes rarely come easily, and very rarely are they something that you own all by yourself. And the fact is that when you're successful at something, it feels really good. And you're willing to sacrifice, you're willing to put in some time doing the boring things necessary so that you can be successful, because you want to feel that feeling more. Success is never a solitary endeavor, and it does usually require a team that can help to serve as your support network. And for me, athletically, I had all kinds of people that were supporting me and helping me to be successful, whether it was my coaches or sometimes it was even my competitors. They some of the best advice that I ever got came from competitors in the middle of a competition, and then you figure everything out and have a great day. When you get hurt, you always want those athletic trainers there to help get you back into shape. So, that the team element, even though I competed in an individual sport and I was the only one competing in the moment, my successes were owned by a group of people that helped me to get there. So I want you to close your eyes again and think about who contributed to your success. Who helped to get you to where you were able to be successful? And, it may not be somebody who was there in the moment. If you're taking a test, there's nobody sitting there with you. You're the one taking the test. But think about who was in the background. In the days and weeks leading up to that success, who was there? So go ahead and pause the video and get it started when you're ready. Just like you're thinking about those successes in your life, success in college, very similar. It's much easier when you have a network of people supporting you and working with you. And I'm sure that you feel that right now in college, in high school. You have your teachers and your friends, and there's this group of people around you that help you to be successful and do the things that you need to do to be successful. When you get to college, you're going to have even more people that come in, and you'll have tutors, and you'll have people who work in the support centers, and of course your family and advisors, and there's the clubs and organizations that you belong to that help to support you and spur you on to greater successes. Why do you need an academic support structure around you? Well, college is hard. There's going to be ups and downs, and it's unrealistic to think that you're never going to fail a test, that you're never going to have a time when you're depressed or don't understand something or confused. And your support structure is there to help you get through those things. When you fail a test and you have to go back to class the next day, or maybe you have to make a meeting with a professor to talk about why you failed, having that support structure, somebody who can walk with you and encourage you, is incredibly valuable. The fact is, you're going to have questions. And I always marvel at my students who believe that they should never ask questions. And the fact is that you should always ask questions. It's unrealistic to think that you're going to go through college and never have questions. When you have questions, you need to know who to ask them to and where to get the answers. And the support structure is there to help you. You'll ask people questions and they'll tell you, I'm not the right person to ask, but hey, go talk to this person. And so that support structure is there to help you when you do have questions. The fact is that your professors were sitting in your seat, but it was a long time ago, and they've taught the class several times, and it's hard to put yourself in the place of a college freshman who's learning something for the first time. And so in the end, sometimes your peers can explain things in a way that makes more sense. Chances are they were confused, and if they get it now, it's because they went through the same thoughts that you're going through. And so if they can explain it to you in a way that makes sense better than your professor can, then they're a pivotal part of your support network, and you need to have their support there. Attendance is a tough thing in college. In high school, attendance is kind of mandatory. You get used to going to school and then being there all day. And in college, you got to get yourself out of bed. You've got to get yourself to class. And attendance has a big impact on your performance. It's much easier to do well in class when you are in class. And so having that support network and people who can call you and make sure that you're there or meet you for lunch before so that you get to class, that's invaluable. You need to have it. In the end, active learning is the best learning. And so the more that you're collaborating and discussing things with your peer group or with your tutor, the more you're learning, and the better you're going to do than if you're just trying to bring it all in on the passively sitting back and listening to your instructor and then reading through your notes. It just doesn't work. So take a second and on your paper, brainstorm about who the people are who support you academically. Who at your school could you bring in to be a part of your support network that might help you to be even more successful than you are right now? So go ahead and pause the video and take a few minutes to think about this. Success is hard. It takes a lot of work and effort to build a support network. And again, going back to sports, remember that the people who we look up to athletically are the people who come early and stay late. They're the hardest working people. Tom Brady is this marvel that everyone thinks about as the 40-year-old quarterback who just never ages. But that takes a lot of hard work. LeBron James is the same way. Whoever it is that you look up to in whatever sport it might be, chances are they're the hardest working person. And they make success look easy because of all the training and time that goes into preparing to be successful. In college, the people who are there to support you are there, but you have to make an effort to use them. And that is sometimes the hardest thing to remember, that you have to take the first step and you have to go and ask the questions that you have. In the end, belonging is a huge part of being successful in college, and feeling like you belong really makes a big difference. And so the more that you have that support network, the more that you belong to that network, the more successful you will be. Take a second, find a partner. Anybody. Talk to your partner a little bit about how you can develop an academic support network in your high school. Think about people who aren't in your network right now and how you could go about working with your partner to bring those people into your network to help you now, and then also to help you to transition to college. And then here's the toughest question. Once you get to college, now what? How are you going to build an academic support network that's going to help you to persist and succeed? And part of that is learning which are the cohort organizations that you can join. Whether it's a fraternity, whether it's an organization for first-generation college students, it could be anything. Maybe you're on a sports team, maybe you're on a club team, maybe you pledge a fraternity or a sorority. How are you going to build that academic support network that's going to help you to persist and succeed? A lot of what I talked to you about today comes from my own experiences and things that I learned in going through college and being a college and professional athlete. But I also read a little bit, and if you're interested, these are some good references that you could get a sense of how to go about building that support network to be more successful.